Todd Young Online presents Young Tales. Tales for the young and the young at heart. Today's story, Bulfinch's Mythology, the stories of gods and heroes. The story of the Myrmidons. The Myrmidons were the soldiers of Achilles during the Trojan War. To this day, the term Myrmidon is used to describe zealous and unquestioning followers of a political leader. Yet the origins of the Myrmidons suggest not a fierce and warlike race, but one marked by diligence and resilience. Cephalus, king of Athens, arrived on the island of Aegina to seek the aid of his old friend and ally, Aeacus, in his war against Minos, king of Crete. Aeacus received him warmly and readily promised the assistance he sought. "I have enough men to defend my land and to send you the forces you require," said Aeacus. Cephalus looked around, marveling at the host of young men surrounding Aeacus. "I am grateful for your aid," Cephalus replied, "but I cannot help but wonder. I see a multitude of youths, all seemingly of the same age, yet I cannot find the familiar faces I once knew here. What has become of them?" Aeacus sighed deeply. "I have long meant to tell you, and now seems the time. The men you once knew are gone, claimed by a plague sent by Juno. She despised this land, for it bore the name of one of Jupiter's mortal lovers. When the sickness first struck, we believed it to be natural and did all we could to resist it, but soon we realized it was beyond our power and we surrendered to the will of the gods. It began with an oppressive stillness. The sky grew heavy and lowered to meet the earth, thick clouds sealing in the heated air. For 4 months, a fatal south wind persisted, poisoning the wells and springs. Serpents slithered all over the land, shedding venom into the waters. The plague first claimed the lower animals, dogs, cattle, sheep, and birds. Plowmen watched helplessly as their oxen collapsed mid-furrow. Horses, once proud and swift, languished and died in their stalls. Wild boars, stags, and bears lost their vitality, and the land became strewn with the carcasses of beasts. But soon, the sickness turned to the people. The earliest signs were fevered cheeks and labored breath. Swollen tongues and parched mouths left the afflicted gasping for air. No bed or garment brought relief. They lay on the ground, burning with fever. Physicians perished alongside their patients, and despair took hold of the city. As hope faded, restraint dissolved, and men indulged in their desires, no longer heeding what was prudent. They gathered around fountains, drinking insatiably until death overtook them. The dead lay unburied, crowding the streets and fields. "I had no heart left in me, Cephalus. I longed for death, for my people lay scattered like autumn leaves beneath an oak. Atop that hill stands a temple of Jupiter. How many sought solace there, only to perish mid-prayer? Victims fell at the altar, disease striking them before the sacrificial blow. In time, reverence for the gods waned, and the city sank into chaos. The living fought over funeral pyres, and finally there were none left to mourn. One day, in the shadow of that temple, I raised my eyes to the heavens. 'O Jupiter,' I prayed, 'if you are indeed my father, and if I am truly your son, grant me a new people or take me from this suffering.' As I spoke, thunder echoed across the sky. I dared to hope. Near me stood an ancient oak, sacred to Jupiter. A line of ants marched along its trunk, each carrying grains of wheat. I marveled at their number and their unity. 'O Father,' I implored, 'grant me citizens as numerous and diligent as these.' At once the tree quivered, though no wind stirred the air. That night as I slept, I dreamed of the oak. From its branches fell swarms of ants, which grew larger, standing upright as they transformed into men. At dawn, I awoke to the sound of voices, human voices. My son Telamon burst into the temple. 'Father, come and see,' he cried. I followed him outside and saw a crowd, just as in my dream. They hailed me as their king, kneeling in reverence. I named them the Myrmidons, after the ants from which they sprang. They are a hardy and industrious people, eager to work and tenacious in their pursuits. You have seen them, Cephalus. They are disciplined and relentless. From among them I will send warriors to aid you. They are young in body, but stout in spirit, and they will serve you well." And here's where we end for today. Young Tales is produced and narrated by Todd Young from Todd Young Online. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and join us next time for another story. Thank you for your support.